Hello and welcome to my channel. Today's talk is going to be about trauma and acceptance. Now, you might say trauma does not couple well with acceptance. What we want is to undo the trauma, is to regain our past selves, is to be again that person that was not hurt by anyone, that was not hurt by any event. You might say, I don't want to accept trauma. I don't want to embrace it. It brings me so much pain. So much negative emotions such as fear, shame, guilt, sadness, anger, disgust. And these are the 6 most recurrent emotions experienced by traumatized people. These emotions are labeled as negative, and people tend to avoid experiencing those feelings. And avoidance is the path of delaying recovery. That's how you delay your recovery. That's how you press pause on your life and just wait for a miracle to happen, for all your troubles or your emotions to actually find a magical outlet into the land of oblivion or whatnot. Let me tell you that it is impossible to overcome trauma without accepting what you feel first, without accepting those emotions that are inside you and that are labeled as bad or negative, or in need to be actually silenced. Acceptance, you have to understand, is different from embracing. When you embrace something, you want to take it with you to your future, right? But when you accept something, it's actually a step you're taking into making your life better, into not being stuck, because that's what happens when you don't accept your emotions. You feel that fear that that event might happen again. And so you bury it underneath many thick layers so that you don't have to deal with it, so that you don't have to see it. But that's not how it happens. That's not how you recover. That's how you stay in coma, in trauma coma, what I would like to name. And here's what's going to happen if you do that. Those emotions or those painful emotions of fear, shame, guilt, and sadness, etc., are going to resurface in your life in ways that you will not appreciate, in ways that will be destructive to your life. Least of all evils, you would have, for example, an eating disorder. You would binge eat, or you would not eat at all, and you would lose weight, you would gain weight. It's part of self-medication. You can start liking those glasses of wine after dinner. It can be pretty damaging to your life. And this is when you realize that there's something that you need to deal with, something that you need to fix, something that you need to approach, right? And that something is those emotions that you've kept buried because it's too much to deal with. Life is sometimes too much to deal with. It is too much to deal with, and we cannot avoid it. When you're sleeping in your bedroom the whole day, life is still going on outside. And you think that, well, it can't hurt me because I'm sleeping. I didn't go to confront it. I'm safe. Well, are you? Are you? Because you will get up at one point, and when you get up, you will not like what you're gonna see. You will look at your life and it will be a tsunami. It will be chaotic, and you will not know what to do. I'll tell you what to do. Step number 1: acceptance. That's how you face that tsunami. Acceptance. What am I accepting, and how am I accepting it? You are accepting the emotions. I'm not saying accept the repercussions of trauma. I'm not saying accept the chronic depression. I'm not saying accept the anxiety. Those are repercussions of your avoidance of the true painful emotions that are raging inside you. What you have to accept is your fear, your shame, your guilt. Accept it. It's happening inside you. And by accepting, I'm not saying embracing again. I'm saying recognize it. Bring a mirror, look at yourself in the mirror, say, I have so-and-so fear. I have guilt over so-and-so. I have shame over so-and-so. I feel sad. I am so angry at that person who did that to me. Recognize your feelings, because if you don't, nobody's going to give you that recognition. It has to come from within. It has to come from within. And once you do that, step 2 is going to be mindfulness. In mindfulness, you're going to ask the question, is what I'm feeling legitimate? Is what I'm feeling the truth? That's when you're going to separate yourself from your thoughts. The fleeting thought that comes to every traumatized person, and I've been there, that I'm broken, I'm damaged, and that this is for life. because I didn't know a way out. I didn't see a way out. So this is for life. Now, these are the thoughts that might cross someone's mind, right? But you have to recognize that these thoughts are just that, just thoughts. They're not you. These thoughts are a result of those feelings that you're, experiencing, that you have been denying. That's what it means to accept your emotions. Now, there's a behavioral therapy called ACT, or ACT, Acceptance Commitment Therapy, and it is based on the action of reducing avoidance of trauma-related memories and associated emotions. That's how therapists now treat trauma survivors. That's how they treat them. First, they get them to accept those negative or those feelings that are perceived as negative, and then get them to actually be mindful, to ask the right kind of questions. Why am I feeling that? Or is my fear legitimate? Is there anything right now in my immediate environment that might cause me to fear? Or is my fear based on my past experience when so and so happened and my whole world fell apart? Finally, I just want to tell you, and this is coming from my heart and from my soul, that don't feel like you have been singled out by the universe. Don't feel singled out to live a bad life, to have to carry this burden to your grave. Don't feel like there's no exit, because you never know. You may have been singled out to actually make a difference in the world. And if you think about it, if you ask the question, who are the people who actually make a difference in the world, you will see that the answer includes many people who have been through a lot in their lives, right? Maybe you have been singled out to be great, actually, to share your experience, to speak out for the people who have been through the same thing. Maybe you've been singled out to be the voice of millions of people who are in your same situation. Have you ever thought of that? Maybe you have been given this thing that you feel is a curse in order for you to be the alchemist and to turn that thing into a beautiful guiding light for many others. Maybe if you stand on your feet, a whole population would be able to stand too. Have you ever thought of that? Have you ever considered that if you stop running from your emotions, if you actually confronted them, that you will be able to change somebody else's life? And how great would that be, to change your life and to save someone else? How great would that be? Don't you want to be that person for somebody else? Don't you want someone to do that to you, to take you by your hand, to show you the exit, to tell you you're not alone in this? I've been there, and now look at me. I'm out. I'm recovered. I feel good about myself, about my life. I would like to be that person. Would you?